And it's Crafting Live again. I hope you're doing really well. As usual, we just have a little bit of couple of minutes just to make sure everything's working and things are set up correctly. So you have the usual bit where I'm faffing about with my screen to make sure it's working. Oh, and the sound is working as well. So we're all working, so that's great. How is everybody this Friday? I have had a very busy week, as always. So I'm excited for the weekend. I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping to get a little bit of relaxation in this weekend with Ant because he's off this weekend too, which is an unusual thing to happen for us both to have time off at the same time. So I'm looking forward to that and just having a bit of a rest. And maybe I might be able to get some design time in as well, which is nice. Because it's always, when things are hectic with doing orders and managing the shop and just doing the day-to-day admin, sometimes it's really hard to get in that design headspace. So I'm hoping that I might be able to do that this weekend if I manage to get some time to relax. So hello there, Tanya, how are you? I can see that we're getting a few people joining us, which is awesome. So hello to all of you. Please do say hello. I do have to look off to the side to see your comments. So sorry if I keep looking away, but that's why. I've also got a little friend sat down here next to me who I keep also looking at. I'm going to bring her a bit closer to the action. Hello there. Hi. So, yeah, if she's still here later, I might give you a little glimpse of her. She's just sat on the chair next to me washing herself at the moment, which is very cute. So, hello. Like I say, I've been non-stop all day. So haven't really got my head around what I'm going to do today. But I've got a couple of suggestions from Ant, which I'm struggling to get my head around. Tanya says she's good. Received her orders the other day. Looking forward to having a play this weekend. That's the perfect weekend. Being able to play with new goodies. And don't forget to share them on the friends page. So if you're not already on there, which I'm sure you probably are, Tanya. But yeah, if you share them on the friends page, that would be awesome. And I'm hoping that I can, I'm thinking about different ways of using the friends page for you guys that are subscribers to the friends page, just to offer you a little bit of something extra. So I'm working on some ideas that hopefully will come to something. So shall I switch now to the overhead so that you can see what it is that I am, some of the ideas that are fermenting. Let's switch it over. Hello. So different view. Hopefully you can see that okay. So Ant's idea was to do something because he's injured himself, as he does. And I may have already told this story previously, so apologies if I've already spoken about this and you've already heard all of this. But he did injure himself at work and he has to have hip surgery in the next few weeks. So he's been to see his surgeon today, blah, blah, blah. But he's also been continuing to play five-a-side football. And whenever he does this, he injures himself. So he said he wants a card or something. He wanted a card that was to do with him feeling not very well, basically. Well, not feeling very well, but having been injured. So I thought, I could do a standard kind of get well soon card, which we do have all the lovely products for that. But we've also got new stamps. And Michael's asking what's new in the products. These are our most recent release. I haven't used either of these. So I had two ideas for these, for utilising these. This is the XOXO Daisy, and I thought, when you're little and you've maybe, you've had a little bit of a fall or something, and people say to you, you know, oh, oops-a-daisy, or you've had a bit of an oops-a-daisy kind of an injury, which is not a major injury, it's just a little bit of an oops. I thought that would be quite cool to do because I love this stamp set for a start. The little cats are really, really cute, and Aunt loves cats, of course, like myself. So a little oops-a-daisy, and then maybe mixing it with some of the other sentiments that we've got in other stamp sets about, oh, I'm sorry that you've kind of hurt yourself, or that you know, that you're not very well. We could perhaps put that together, or this one. Oh, hello, Amy. I can see that Crafty Purple Frog is here. Hello, Amy. How are you? So this is the You Are Moveless set, and I thought maybe I could do a little bit of From the Whole Herd, and maybe I heard you were feeling unwell or something like that, or maybe like a good look for his surgery, a good look from the whole herd could be quite cute. So that was that was kind of where my thought process was, because I wanted to do something that was a little bit different to just the standard. You know, I wanted to mix it up a little bit and show that you can use other, you can mix and match your products basically. But that's kind of as far as my ideas went. So now it's kind of like, right, what do we do? What do we do? I'd also got the Pretty Pastels paper pad here, because I thought if I'm going to use these guys, some Pretty Pastels are going to look really cool in the background. So I've got a few ideas, but none of them are actually come to anything. So my thoughts are, I'm going to need a card base. That's standard, isn't it? So let's start with that. Does anybody I imagine that you guys are all very similar to me, where you kind of have, right, I want to do some crafting today, but I really don't quite know where to start. I could also go with a DL size. We haven't used a slimline card for a while. I'm going to get those two options out, have a think about it, and see what we want to do. And then I'm also going to have a look. Thank you, Amy. Amy's saying that they're very pretty and that it's a great idea. Well, I may need some suggestions on where to go next. Amy, you are very creative in this respect. Oh, here we go. These are my dies, and I'm thinking, are my dies going to give me a little bit of inspiration here? We used this one last time, so I'm not going to use that this time. This is a great one because the reason that I like this one is that each of these bits can be used as cut out in different colours and be used as a little bit of background, so you can make them sky and grass. Oh, I'm liking that idea. Okay, that's given me some inspiration there. That's given me thoughts. This is going to be a great one for the little oops-a-daisies, because I can use that frame, either the inner frame or the outer frame, with the patterned papers. So that's giving me ideas also. Obviously the slimline dies are a great one for creating landscape you know, bits too. So there is that one. But what I'm doing basically here is I'm using my dies as a way of giving me some inspiration. So this is a you know, potentially a good start, a good way for you guys to work. Let me know you know, in the comments what you do when you're stumped for a bit of inspiration. You've got a die set or a stamp set that you think you want to work with, but what are you going to do with it? What do you do next? Do you look for a colour scheme? Do you look for, where do you get your inspiration from? Because I like to then look at the dies. See, we've got the Get Well Soon as well, which is, obviously this could work for any of those, but he's not poorly in the sense of, like he's got an illness, it's an injury, and I feel like sometimes does that need a different kind of sentiment? I'm not sure, but he's not poorly at the moment, and he's not had the surgery yet, so this is kind of in advance of the surgery. So Amy says that she thinks a herd of those little cows would be very cute. Yes, so I'm thinking I'm going to do the herd of cows. I'm feeling, oh, and I've got a little pull tab. Oh, the little, see, if I'd got time, I would do an interactive one. So that's one for you guys. Do an interactive cow for me. Oh, I love that. I love this die, and I've not used it nearly enough. This is the Love Intertwined die, and I haven't used that nearly enough, but it's not going to work for what we're doing today, so I'm going to pop that back. The other ones that are really great for our little for any of our characters, to be honest with you, and this one could work for this as well. Oh, yeah. Dies are a great way of inspiring you. So this die is the Stitched Window cover die, and you can have, again, you can use different bits of it, different patterned papers in the background, and then have your characters in the little windows, and then a sentiment, a larger sentiment across the bottom. That would work really well with our Ups a Daisies. Obviously we've got a lovely skyline one, the Sky's the Limit one is great, but obviously none of my characters fly, so that's not going to work for this one, but I do love that one. See, we could do a Sending Love. Oh, that would be quite good, wouldn't it? So this is the Love You Lots sentiment die. You could just cut out the love, and then we've got the sentiment Sending Love here in this stamp set, so we could put those, both of those together. Sending Love from the whole herd. Right, okay, I think I've made my decision. I've got lots of other fabulous dies in there, but I think I've made my decision. I think I've come up with a solution, so let's do it. No more messing about, is the Maisie. We're not messing about, we're getting this done. This is what you need to do. You need to have a word with yourself and say, I'm getting this done. Michael, I didn't ignore your question, I'm sorry, I was just in the zone. Michael says, do the stamps come with dies? So there are coordinating dies, but they don't come with the stamp set. You have to purchase them separately. Or if you look on the website under, they are available as a collection, so you get a discount, 15% discount if you buy them as part of the collection together, if that makes sense. So Amy says, I also like the idea of maybe somehow using the Too Cute to Spook, but just cutting out the poo bit. Like, oh, that's poo, but that might be a bit too rude for some. Well, I do think that's really funny. I love that idea. Laura says, today was not the day to roll in late. Why are we talking about poo? So we're talking about feeling like poo. If you have a boo-boo card, yeah, or a pre-operation. I love that. Hello, Claire. How are you? Hello, Laura. You've come in at just the right time there, didn't you? You weren't expecting that. That is not too rude for Ant. You know Ant, Amy. You know that is not too rude for him. However, it might be too rude for some. But I like your style. I like your thinking. So let's do this then. So this one here, I'm actually only going to use like the sending bit, because I'm going to do the Sending Love. I'm going to use this large sentiment, I think, or I might just do Sending Love from the whole herd. So we're going to do a mix and match on that. But my first bit, as you know, I always tend to start with my background first and move forward. So I've got an A6 card base here, and then I've got my die. So this is the Waves cover die. But to be fair, I probably shouldn't have called it that. Hello, Sue. How are you? Yeah, I probably shouldn't have called it that because it does far more than waves. And I think I've obviously used it for waves, but I've used it for so many other things as well. So it's kind of underselling it by calling it waves, I think. So this piece of scrap, it's a little bit too tight. I don't, it could work, but if it, shall we try it? So it just fits, look, onto my scrap of cardstock here. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful with my washi tape and make sure that it's fixed perfectly in place, because if not, then you know, I'm not going to get a perfect cut. But why waste an ideal sized piece of cardstock? So bear with me while I put this through the very noisy Gemini machine. I am very well, Sue, as well, by the way, and I hope you've received your goodies. If not, they are on their way with the card that you won. Sorry, baby girl, that was a bit noisy for you, wasn't it? Oh, it's very cracky, that one. That was very crackly, that, wasn't it? Maisie did not like that at all, did you, baby? She wasn't at all impressed by that noise, were you? So, this is where one of the things that I really, really wanted to do tonight was, when I was trying to think what I'm going to do, I don't know why I'm saving these tiny little bits, but you never know, was to do some ink blending. That was my thoughts. I really would like to do some ink blending, so this is going to satisfy that craving. So I'm not going to pop all that out just yet, because I'm going to get out my little silicone mat here, and then that has all cut perfectly. I wasn't sure whether it would have cut first time, but it has. So I'm going to pop it out in the order that it should be, and then you also get this frame as well, you see. So we're going to be able to frame it as well, which will be really nice. And you know, this is obviously, I've cut this in white. I do like a white border and a white frame, but you could obviously make this any colour that you want. But I'm going to keep the colour to, I've turned this round just because it'll make it easier for me to stack all of these up, because I want to make sure that I'm getting the colours that I want. Come down here in the right order, if you know what I mean. Okay then, there we go, lovely. So for our design, I have already got some of these, well, I think I've got all of them, but I am going to need extra. So I've got a few little characters already done. So I'm going to use this as my template here to figure out just where I want everything to go. So I need a little herd of cows. So I need more cows in my life. I've got a little tree there. That would be quite cute. On the back of there. We've got a little fence. Cute, isn't it? So, what have we got here from the whole herd? So, if we did, we might not need the big love, because it might not fit anywhere. So if we do sending love from the whole herd, or we could do that the other way. I feel like sometimes you have to read things a certain way, don't you, for it to make sense. So if we did it that way round, that's quite good, isn't it? Yeah, quite like that arrangement. Tanya says those cows are so cute. Sentiment strips, I save them too. Exactly, you never know when you're going to need those. Very occasionally I remember to use one. I know, I'm the same. That looks really cute already, doesn't it? And we've not even done anything, Amy. You're absolutely right. So I think I need a third moo cow, potentially, because 2 is not a herd, is it? 2 is not a herd, do you think 3 could be classed as a herd? I think we're going to make it, because I don't think we're going to have room for more than that, if I'm honest. So I think we'll go with 3 as our herd. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there. So I probably will use some of the items that we've already got coloured up here, but I will colour up an extra little moo cow. I'm going to pop that to one side. So based on this, sorry, the reason that I was doing it this way is that I wanted to work out which bits of my sections needed to be green and which needed to be sky. So the top 2 need to be sky, and the rest of these can be different shades of green. Probably being darker in the background and paler in the foreground would be my thoughts. So these 2 here are going to be blue. If I move that down a little bit, you can see what I'm doing. Come on, Joe. So blue, darker green, paler green. That's the plan. So let's get my blue brush. So for my sky, I'm going to go with a little bit of tumbled glass, because I do love a bit of tumbled glass. And then maybe a bit of salty ocean, just for a bit of, to make it a little bit darker in points. So we'll start with this now, because these are smaller pieces of card. They are going to probably move a little bit. The silicone does help hold them in place a little bit more, but I'm just going to be a bit careful, because I don't want to accidentally scrunch them up. If your cardstock is a little bit thinner, it can sometimes, you could accidentally bend it and scrunch it. 3 is you and the 2 cats. Oh, Amy, that's such a cute, that's so cute. That is such a good idea, but that is true. That is me, Maisie and Arnie. So we've gone a little bit nice bright blue sky there. So I'm just adding this kind of in the corners rather than all over the panel, because I want to keep a little bit of a paler contrast in there, so it looks a little bit paler. But you know me, I'm a heavy hand. It's very difficult to do. So I'm going to leave that for the minute, because I'm going to do a little bit of spritzing of water. But I'll do my green first. So I said I was going to go darker green there, paler green there, didn't I? So pale green, let's have a look. What have I got? I've got some twisted citron. I love a bit of twisted citron. I also love the mowed lawn, and twisted citron will look really nice at the beginning. And then I love Lucky Clover. I love that colour so much. That's a little bit more of a bit of sagey kind of colour. So I'm thinking that maybe this is controversial. It's a little bit dark, but it is the rustic wilderness. I'm thinking that rather than the pine needles. Oh no, pine needles and Lucky Clover I think are going to go better. Decision made. I'm all about making some quick decisions lately. Sometimes, and I don't know if you do the same as me, but sometimes I debate over things far too long, and really, you know, why am I debating for so long? There is no need to be debating for quite so long, because you then just end up falling out with yourself, or I do anyway, because I think, oh God, why is it taking me so long? Why can't I just get on with it and just do it? And then, like I say, I fall out with myself then, and then I don't like everything that I choose. I'm just like, this is rubbish. I don't want to do it. Whereas if I just don't overthink it and I just make a quick decision, the chances are I like what I'm doing a bit more, which is, I think it's just giving yourself the permission just to go for it and not worry about the outcome, because it is, at the end of the day, it's just a piece of card, isn't it? This is just some white card that I'm colouring in, and if I don't like it, I can just start again. It's absolutely fine. So all that time wasted worrying about it hasn't achieved anything, whereas at least I'm doing something, aren't I? So we'll see. Amy says that I'm loving your work. Quick choices are often the best. You know what you like. Well, I think that's it. Sometimes you do just overthink things, and it is because we want everything to be perfect, and I get that, because I'm the same. I want it to be perfect, and there are some times where I think, oh, I wish afterwards I wished I'd done it this way, or I wish I'd done that. But you can always then recreate it in the perfect way then afterwards. Once you've had a go at it one way, you can add to it and change it. So yeah, I just think we're too hard on ourselves, absolutely, as crafters. So you can sometimes spend so much time whittling. That's a good word. Is that just a Yorkshire word, whittling? You can spend so much time whittling and not enough time doing. So okay, so we get. I'm loving that colour on there. I'm going to add a bit of that colour onto the top of, and this is the pine needles. I might go with the Lucky Clover actually. Let's go back to the Lucky Clover. I'm just going to add a bit of that colour onto the top of this panel here, because that will mix, it will create a bit of a blend then across all three. And then I think I needed a little bit of a deeper shade on the top of there. Oh, this is going to look so good. Yes, love that. So now we've got this was, like I said, this is the bit that I really was. Sometimes you just have one particular thing that you really want to do, like you just are looking forward to doing some ink blending today. So I'm glad that I've been able to do that. Let's pop some of these away. Actually, I might need some of those, because I'm going to do some just some water splatters first. Then I'm going to come in with a bit of colour, but I'm going to have to do those bits separately, of course. So a bit of water. This is going to create big droplets, as you can see. So I've got a couple of big droplets, but then for the smaller droplets, we'll use this. And I'll just, oh, there's quite a few big droplets off there, so I'll just do a bit of a flick of that one. Nice, okay. So we've got some different size droplets there. I'll just let it do its work, let it oxidize a little bit. Maisie is now gone to sleep, lovely and content next to me. So that's just doing working its magic. And I'm just going to use this old tissue, which has already got ink on it. It's not muck, it's ink. So there we've got some nice white splatters on there, which look awesome. But now I want to do a mixture of the blues and greens. So I'm going to take my blues away. If I could lift them up, it would be helpful. Put those there. And then we'll do the green first. So I need to make sure nothing else is going to get covered in this stuff. I might just put a little bit of white paper there to protect everything. So let's go with some of the pine needles. rub a bit of that onto my acrylic block, and then I'm going to get my fan brush and then add a bit of that ink, and then let's splatter that nice and forcibly onto there. Oh, nice big splatter. I'm happy with that. I like that. I wanted a bit of variation in size. So let's clean that off, because we will use that again, and I'll just wipe off my block and pop those back. And now we're going to use my little tweezers. Pop these to one side to dry. Oh, did drop that one. Just, oh, don't smudge. Don't smudge. Oh, honestly, I love this technique so much because I don't know, it's just something so small as adding some little speckles, but it just, I don't know, it just makes it. And a little bit of ink. I'm so glad I put a piece of white paper in front of me here. I'm so glad I did that because it's absolutely covered in green splatters. And now it's going to be covered in blue. So bit of salty ocean. Laura loves a bit of splatter. I keep saying crafty purple frog because I'm reading it, and I mean Amy. Saying I've been liking yellow flicks on the green lately as it looks like flat. What a great idea. I haven't tried that. Shall we try it? Shall we give it a go? Let's do the blue and then we'll give that a try. What yellow are you using? Are you using like a mustard seed maybe? Because that's quite a nice bright yellow. A bit more water. Oh, yes. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Loving that. Some nice aqua coloured water going on there now. And let's clean this off. So we've got a lovely bit of blue sky now going on here. Come on. There we go. So let's put that to one side to dry. I've mixed up the order of them now, but hopefully I'll be able to remember which way. Shall we try a little bit of yellow on here? As per Amy's advice and suggestion. We've got oh, so come here, round themselves up. So pop that back. Where does that live? Can you live there? Or squeezed lemonade. Do you think squeezed lemonade will be yellowy enough? I feel like that might not stand out. Should we try it? Oh. Hey, or scattered straw. Ooh, hey ho, let's try. It's quite, when it's rubbed on the surface like that, it's quite bright, isn't it? Hello Jess, how are you? Happy Friday. Happy crafty Friday. Oh, I'm sorry, was that a bit loud for you there? I do apologise, Maisie, for being a bit loud. She's trying to have a little sleep, aren't you? Right, so, oh, I feel like that's gone green because of my water being filthy. Oh no, it's still quite yellow. Oh, that's cute. I'm getting it everywhere but on the actual paper though, which is rather annoying. It's made a lovely pattern on my silicone mat, hasn't it? Yeah, it's gone everywhere but actually on the paper. try a bit of a deeper yellow because ticking on okay. I'm glad you're ticking on okay. We're going to try a little bit of mustard seed just to see if we can get a little bit of a brighter yellow to come out. Because I feel like that's kind of what you're looking at. It's not for you, this, you know. That's better. That's better. It just wasn't a deep enough yellow, I don't think. Oh, what a great idea, Amy. We've got some little yellow flowers now. Oh, everything's covered in splatters, but that's good. So, love that. Love it. What a great idea, Amy. Thank you. I knew you would give me some useful tips this evening, helping my brain work, which is what we need. So let's pop some of these back in their little home. Look at my white paper. I wonder if you can see all of the splatters that are on there. Made my own patterned splattered paper there. Put that behind me. Right. So now we need to let these dry. So let's pop these over to one side. There we go. They're going to look so pretty. They're going to look so cute. Right. I'm loving this already. Let's get this cleaned up though, because this is now totally covered in inky splatters. Sorry for the squeaks, if people don't like squeaks. It's a bit like nails on a chalkboard, isn't it, that? Sorry about that. What do you think, Maisie? Oh, you're so tired. Oh, big yawn. Big yawn coming. Okay. Right, so we're making progress. So much progress being made. Right. So, shall we have a go at cutting out and colouring some more moo cows? Amy says that you can also use the leftover splatters when you have the time to do some ink smooshing. But right now for a live, you kind of have to just clean up. Yes, I never remember, or I always forget. Never remember, always forget. Always forget to do the smooshing thing with my leftover ink, because, like I say, I'm just on a mission because we're on a live to just like get things done, aren't you? So, but I should definitely do that. So I've got two more pieces of scrap card here, which are super smooth for my colouring. So I'm going to use those, and I'm going to do a couple more cues. Now I'm tempted to do all the same cues, but I do love my little Highland cow, so I do think I want to use him. And the little messages that we've got, I think I'm going to heat emboss so that they stand out. Although they might stand out with the white. We'll see what we get to when we do that. So what time are we on? We're doing okay for time, aren't we? We're doing okay for time. So I think just trying to work out which way around we're going to do things. I think we'll do a little spotty cow. And then we've got one little tree there, and I wondered whether you wanted me to just show you colouring in the barn, if we've got time to do that. So I'll stamp out the barn as well, because we've decided that 3 cows is a herd, because 3 cows is me, Maisie and Arnie. So I'm just going to try something different, because I'm using a small scrap. I'm going to try stamping this freehand, which is a bit scary, isn't it? Claire says she's loving this background and needs to give it a try. You definitely need to give it a try. There's something so satisfying about stamping, you know, a scene. It's not stamping a scene. I mean, speak with your words. Ink blending a scene. Goodness, that was difficult. You can see it's getting to that time of night where I'm tired now, isn't it? What are you doing? Silly girl. Yes, and I've not eaten my dinner yet, so it's probably lack of food that's doing it. Okay. Next up is the barn. So is anybody else crafting with their goodies this weekend? Anybody else doing any crafting? And if so, what projects are you making? What are you doing? Are you making for a particular occasion, or are you just making for fun? For the fun of it. My tummy actually did make a rumble there, didn't it, Maisie? I don't think anybody heard us, so we're okay. So, let's have a look, see if we can recall how we did this. Shall I zoom in a bit? Let's zoom in a bit so you can see what I am doing. Yay. Is anybody watching Eurovision? Isn't it Eurovision this weekend? I mean, I know there's been bits going on, hasn't there, as well, in the meantime. Let's start with a little moo. I can't think what grey I'll have used, but that's okay, because shall we make him a different colour? What other colour cows would you get? I guess you would probably get maybe like should we have a look? What kind of a cow is he? He's let's look for some cow images. Yeah, I'm thinking that he could be kind of, let me get some images up for you to look at on my phone. So maybe this kind of a colour. This is a cartoon cow. But yeah, that kind of a colour. So browny kind of spots. So let's do that, because that makes him a little bit different, doesn't it? So browns. Let's have a look what browns. I would say the E34 and E35 are looking like the ones that I would want to use if I could find them. E33 will suffice as a colour. So just gonna colour in his spots really simply with the E33 first. And then I'll use a little bit of the E35 just to add a tiny bit of depth. Nothing too major. And then back again with that E33 and just dotting over the edges of that, really. Oh, I've missed one on the side of his little head there. So this is you know, a great little character to colour in, because he's very, very easy. E41 and E42, maybe a bit of E40, let's have a look. So E40 is a good one for adding a little bit of shading. So, and I've done that on there. I think I've used the E41 anyway. The E40, sorry. So just wherever you want to add a little bit of shadow, because it's not too, because we want him to still look white. I don't want him to look dirty, really. So that's a good one to use. And then if we use the E42, I'm going to try, just to make his ears a little bit, his horns a little bit deeper in shade. around his nose, we'll just do that as well. And then we need a little bit of pink for those little cheeks. So what's a good pink that I'm liking at the moment? Is this a bit too pale maybe? No, that looks grand. Give him a little pinky cheeks there, and then his ears as well. Oh, isn't he cute? Really easy. Yes, we've got brown spots, Amy. Sorry, I didn't see your comment there. So for the barn, I did it, I guess, in a very traditional, not traditional, but I suppose stereotypical red barn. I don't know how many red barns we actually see out and about. It would be nice if we had colourful barns, wouldn't it? Rather than just plain brown barns. So I'm going to go with the R24 shade of red, and I'm just going to cover the whole thing. And you could do darkest shade first, but we're not going to go mad with the shading, so I'm going to keep it really simple, go over the whole thing in the R24, and then we can add a little bit of shading afterwards. And there's different ways that you could do this. So I did, I'm going to change it up a little bit, I think, with how I do this one. So the R27 is my my next shade, and I'm going to add that underneath the roof there. So I'm just doing a bit of a line around the top there, and then around the edges and at the bottom. Bring that up from the bottom there, around the edge, and underneath the windows, and then I can blend those edges out really easily. There we go. Lovely. So for the what shall I use? Shall I use the no, I'm going to use the T3 and maybe T5 and, no, start again, N5 and N7. Please forgive me for being so indecisive. Because I'm going to use that to do the inside of the window. So on the one that I'd already coloured, I actually did brown inside the windows and did the window frames in grey. But I'm changing that up for the simple reason that I want those to appear dark inside, and then I want wooden windows. But I am going to do grey on the roof. And I've gone a bit deeper grey than I did in my original, but I'm going to add a little bit of shading around those edges. Can you guys see that okay? Just give that a little bit of shading, and then we'll go back to the 35, 37 and 33E shades for the rest of the windows and so on. So my main kind of colour is going to be this E33. So again, I'm just going to cover all of those with that colour initially. Again, don't be overthinking this. You don't need to overthink it. I haven't gone round the colour for those. So the E35 is my next shade, and I'm going to use that just to add a little bit of definition, but nothing too crazy. Put that around those frames, and again, bit of definition, probably all the way around that outer bit, to be fair, and then bringing that up from the bottom. And then finally, just to give that little bit of extra oomph, a bit of the E37. Again, nothing too crazy, just around the outer bits, just to give it a little bit of depth. I don't need to be too dark, so we still want it to look very light and pretty. So there you go. But you could, so like I say, I've done mine in a very stereotypical type of brown and red, but you could make your barn any colour that you like. So I'm just going to have a wee slurp of my drink. So we have, we've sorted that now. So we've got an extra little cow, and I'm going to pop this back, but we need the dies now, don't we? Oh dear, put that back properly. So it can go in there, and then the dies that I have here, I have the little Mugo, and I have the barn, and we'll use some of the tape. So because this is on a nice small piece of cardstock, this will go really easily through my mini die cutting machine. Oh. So I'm just going to make sure that that's lined up. And get the local machine out. Jess says that she'll have a blue cow with a blue barn and some blue hair. I love that. All of the blue things, Jess. So Jess is going to be crafting shortly, and Amy says the barn looks so good. Oh, thank you. It's a very cute little barn. When I came to design this set, because you know, I loved the moverless, the old school moverless set, but I really wanted to add more characters to it. I wanted to just have a barn as part of the set rather than a digital add-on, which we'd had previously. So yeah, I've been wanting to do it for the longest time, and I'm so glad that I finally was able to do it. What are you tripping about at? What are you doing, you? You've got yourself stuck, haven't you? So Maisie is just hanging off the back of the chair now because she's got a little claw stuck. Because she does have this thing where she can't retract her claws. Are you actually stuck? Do you want me to help you? Come on then. That's it. Now you're stuck to me. Unhook me. There you go. You're safe now. Yeah, she doesn't know how to retract her claws, and she gets herself stuck, really, like, horribly stuck to things, and then she panics. Right, so we've got a barn, we've got a moo cow, we've got 2 moo cows, we've got 3 moo cows, and we've got a tree, and we've got a little fence as well, and then we've also got 2 sentiments, one from a different stamp set, and we've also got a little fence. So I'm going to pop this back with the other bits from the set that I'd already done, which has got a cute little chicken and a hen and a chick. So are we going to stick with a white border? Let's have a look. Now those yellow pieces that we did have gone really kind of almost orangey. Now it's dried. That's weird, isn't it? I'm not opposed to it. I do quite like it, but it's not what I expected. So I'm thinking I like the white border. nice little little border. So you see everything will fit back into that, which is really cool. I know the song that you're trying to get me to sing, Jess, and I am not going to sing it. So I think, you see, I think the white does stand out really nicely. It goes with the white border, so I'm going to stick with the white. I think that works. Now, in order to put this all back together in, so it all fits, it's going to be easier to put my frame on first. So, to put my frame on, I'm going to use my my shaker style tape here. Where's my little skizzers? So, pop that there, turn this over, and let's have a go at this. I've got a little bit hanging over the edge because I didn't measure it properly. Don't tell anyone. I can trim that off. And this one's going to be too long as well. But don't worry, we can trim that one off as well. There we go. And we'll definitely use that piece for one of our little characters. Just measuring by guesswork, by eye, which doesn't always work. It's not an accurate measuring tool, as you can see, but there you go, that little piece is just fitted in there, and then this tiny little bit that's hanging off the edge, you can just trim that off. It's gone. Put that to one side. Now this is the fun bit. Getting this to line up. Here. Get all the tape off. Okay. So I'm going to line up the bottom piece first, and because it's it's a loose frame, it can very much do this, so that's why I'm just going to place it very gently. I've got a bit of fluff there, which is a bit annoying. There we go. Very gently place it. Excuse my head being in the way, so that it all fits on perfectly. That was actually very easy. I probably made it look difficult. So with the background, there are a couple of ways that we can do this, because we can lay it all totally flat and pop up our images, or we can add a bit of dimension to these elements as well if we wanted to. I don't know whether it'd be quite cute to maybe pop some bits forward, you know what I mean? So I might do that, but my sky's definitely going to stay in the background, and then maybe I might have a couple of bits at the bottom that are popped up. What do we think? It's all part of the fun. Again, I'm not going to overthink it, I'm just going to do it. Told myself I wasn't going to do that, didn't I? So let's hopefully get these all the right way round as well. That would be a start. So Jess, what are you crafting this evening then? You're going to be doing a bit of crafting. What have you got in mind? Anything in particular? think it's this one next, isn't it? That one's next. So I'm going to do this one flat. And Amy, what have you been up to lately? What have you been up to? Because we've not seen you for a while. It's lovely to have you with us. So I think I'll pop up just the bottom two or the middle one. Should we pop up the middle one? Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen? You know, it's going to be fine. So the other option that you could do with this, which would work really well, I think, and again, if I had more time, I would probably do it, is to cut it out a few more times with from some more cardstock. So cut the whole piece out again in loads of like cheap white cardstock, and then I would layer up these pieces with differing amounts of cardstock so that they would gradually come out, rather than coming straight out like this one's going to do, because this one's now going to be the same level as the frame, like so. I may have done that a little bit too low, because that's the other thing, is that you want to make sure that they're all going to fit back in. Oh yeah, they're going to fit in fine. So then they could gradually come forward, if you know what I mean. Amy says that she's been doing a lot. She's been moving, including moving house. So have you fully moved now? Moved. Do you like what I did there? Moved. We should have had a moving house card for you, shouldn't we? So yeah, so did that make sense, what I was saying about the layering up of the cardstock? I feel like I know what I was trying to say in my head, but it may not have come out of my mouth in quite the way it should have. There we go. Yeah, that's cute. See, I would like to see some more kind of dimension from these, you know, as they come forward a little bit more. And this one, I'm really tempted to make it actually protrude from the frame. Shall we do it? Shall we just go for it? I'm going to do it. So what I'll need to do with this is I'll need to double up on my tape to make it stick out a bit more, which is exciting. So, oh, this is going to have so much dimension, it's going to look so cute. Oh. I may have not lined that up perfectly, but you can't see it, so that's good. Didn't do a very good job there. I got overexcited, I think. I just got a little bit giddy. I've done the same thing there, got very giddy, but again, you can't see it, so we've got away with it. We've got away with it, kids. Right. Oh, did I not take my... It helps if you take your tape off. Do you know what I mean? See, that is how excited and giddy I was. I forgot to actually take my tape off. So Amy says that she's pretty much moved, still another run or two to get some more stuff, but thankfully I have my desk and my own craft things here, so I've been able to craft this week and it's been lovely. Oh, how lost would you have felt without all your craft stuff around you? Apart from the fact that it's your business as well, you'd just be so lost. So I'm glad you've got that sorted, and I'm glad you're all moved in. We should have been making this card for you. Okay, little moo cows and a barn. So the barn's going in the background there. I don't know whether to do the tree in the background or a bit more in the foreground. Let's do a little play around with an arrangement. We've got my moo cow there. Maybe a little fence there. Oh, that's quite cute. And then a little moo cow there. Well, that's kind of cute, isn't it? I mean, my cow in the background is bigger than my tree, but you know, we've got artistic license here. So, and then we've got the sending love from the whole herd. Oh, that's really cute. What do we think? Oh, that's very cute. Do we like that? Amy says she's loving the way it looks. Yay! Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that arrangement. These guys need a little bit of white jelly pen, so I will do that after we've got everything stuck down, because we are, of course, we're going to add some dimension to all of these lovely things. So now I know where everything's going to go, we can just go for it. So I'm just going to grab this sentiment. I'm going to use some of the shaker style tape to add that. And I'm just going to work my way down, really. It's at this time of the evening where things do not go on straight. I'm going to use my wide foam tape for the bigger images as well. So let's pop this onto the background there. And what I love about the arrangement here is that your eye is going down. Now, in a way, I kind of wish I'd laid that flat, but no. I love dimension. I love popping things up. So, and now we've popped that up, I need to pop this guy up, because I did like him just kind of laying a bit flat in the background, but we're going for dimension now. I've cut that a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to trim that down. He looks cute. Just going to pop that on there. So maybe I'll keep the tree just stuck down and just needs a little bit underneath the top there, which I can use this little piece that I did trim off for that. Because it's nice to have some things popped up, some things laid flat. That all just adds to the different dimensions. And then the same with the fence. I might leave the fence flat, because we've got quite a lot of dimension on this front panel already, on the bottom of the panel, should I say. And so then we've got this little guy. Oh, hello, Annalisa. Annalisa says it looks adorable, and Amy says it's adorable. The tree is still growing, Amy. Yes. So it's a new tree, a little, what's the word, sapling type tree. Artistic license. Yes, it's a baby tree. It's a baby tree. I like your thinking. I think it still works, even though, you know, the dimensions are not quite there, but that's okay. And then from the whole herd, do I pop that up as well? Go on then. Go on then. Let's pop that up. Hello, cat. You're going to come and walk all over everything now, aren't you? I can tell. I've left them alone too long. They've been ignored for too long, so now we're going to have a protest of some sort. Oh, I love that. Hello. Oh, love it. This was exactly what I needed this evening. This was exactly what I was in the mood to create. I love that background so much. So I'll just give you a little closer look. I need to just finish these bits off. Where is my number 8 jelly pen? So let's do a few little dots and highlights from our little moo cow. And let's look where else, because he's white you won't see many of them, you see, so I'm just looking for the best places to pop them. And then on our the barn here as well, we'll have a few highlights. We'll have a few on the roof as well, and on those little barn doors. Yeah, I think that will do, won't it? I think that's looking pretty cute. And then the final little bit will be to, if I can find it, to just glaze the eyes on the other cow. So I don't know if you can see this on screen. It might be really difficult to pick up, but the little cow here, I've glazed his eyes, and they really pop out. They really stand out. They've got a little bit of dimension to them, and they shine. Whereas the other chap is just very flat, and he still looks cute, but the little bit of glaze definitely makes a difference. So I'm just going to wipe off the nib of my pen, because it kind of gets a little bit gloopy over the top. It like dries over the top of itself, which is it's just you know what it do. It kind of protects itself as well in a way by doing that. You could also, this would be cool, you know, on the little screws or whatever they are on the fence, you could just gloss them up as well, so that gives them a little bit of dimension also. Oh, love that. So there we go. Well, that's our little card, sending some love from the whole herd. Yay! Oh, and I really, really love the effect of the splatter on the background. And Amy, for some reason, I don't know if you can see, it's gone a little bit orangey rather than yellow. But that might have been something to do with the dirty water I was using as well. Mood. I see. I didn't even realise what I'd done there, Amy. So I'm not as clever as you give me credit for. And Annalisa says looks adorable. Sue says so cute characters. Ant picked the theme. So he did kind of pick the theme, Annalisa, but I've used a bit of creative interpretation, shall we say. So this is basically for him having injured himself and being about to have an operation on his hip. We're sending him some love from the whole herd. And as Amy says, these 3 little cows represent, that one I guess can be me, because although, you know, Arnie has got a lot of fur, so that could be him. But then these 2 are Arnie and Maisie. So that's the 3 of us sending him some love. Tanya says it's fab. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed doing that. I always love my Friday craft alongs. chatting along with you, and you help me come up with the ideas as we go along. So I really appreciate that. It's lovely to see you. Yeah, I guess I'll let you all crack on with your Friday evenings. My tummy is rumbling, so I think I need some food. I will get some pictures of this up on the website, up on social media, probably be tomorrow now. So look out for that for some final pictures. But for now, here's the whole herd. Take care, guys, and I will see you all for the next live next week. See you soon. Have a great weekend.